Hi everybody, welcome to the Lilac Broom. I'm Lilac. Thanks for coming in. I'm cleaning up my cards because I just did a great reading. I thought it was really good. It definitely set some groundwork and it was the reading I was going to post. But there are a couple of things about it. Namely, I didn't really film it from my best side, so I decided to redo it. So I'm just cleaning up my cards and we're going to do it again. So I just feel like there's some things going on in October that are going to be sort of intense for everybody. And some of you tuning into this reading may have already been going through some things in the last 8 or 9 days, I would say, that have been particularly difficult or challenging. And because of that, you will definitely already have an idea that the energy is volatile. I mean, I think volatile is the only way to go. So we're going to use tarot cards and we're going to use the Kipper. And that's it. We're just going to use those two. Actually, I do want to use my runes. Hang on, y'all. I'm going to get my runes. They're just over here. Okay, so sorry, this is going to be noisy. Try to make it quiet, but I like to touch them. I like to shake them around, so I'm trying to do it quietly. I can only visually identify one rune without having to review like what it means with my little guide. And it's the only one that landed upright, and it's standstill. Basically, not surprising at all. Kind of disappointing to hear that, but there you have it. So it's like there's a standstill in the energy, and within that standing still, there are a variety of possibilities. I'm thinking of that song from Hamilton. In the eye of a hurricane, there is silence for just a moment, then it's gone. And there's that essence of everything swirling about in that moment, and those things include possibilities. So try to bear that imagery in mind as we go through the reading. Okay. All right, let's pull a Celtic cross and see what is this October standoff about. I'm calling it a standoff, although the rune was stand still. The first card out is a reversed 10 of Pentacles. In this deck of cards, I've never actually even seen this card. Never once ever. But ironically, right? I just described a sensation of swirling energy and being in the center of it, did I not? And what are you seeing in the image here? So this is why tarot cards and reading them and knowing how to read them can be a very powerful tool, because as a clairvoyant and intuitive person, I just told you that I sense the energy is swirling and that there is something at the center of it, like being in the eye of the hurricane. And I pulled this card, which I can visually demonstrate to you, looks just like what I described. But what does it mean? 10 of Pentacles is like the best thing that could come of your financial or more grounded, stable thing. You know, Pentacles is money, it's career, it's very earthbound, very 3D, is represented by pentacles, and the 10 would be the best that you could pull, but it's in reverse. So it's kind of like, I always read cards that have this much weight, like the 10 of Pentacles would have, when they show up in reverse, especially in this placement where it's placed within the reading. I read this as you're so close, anything could happen. It's like having a gamble, right? You're so close in that moment. Once that roulette ball stops rolling around, it could go either way, right? The challenge is the Hermit. This was the same card that I pulled during the reading that I just recorded, in the same exact position. A time from shrinking away or not being bold, that time is not now. The challenge is not to be this Hermit. Or perhaps the challenge is to be this Hermit. I feel guided to say that. I mean, personally, if I was letting my ego do the talking, I would tell you, do not be this guy. Do not hide. Do not go within your shell. Do not. But for some people out there, this challenge might mean to be the Hermit, to take a step back and be calm and wait. I mean, if you're in the eye of the hurricane, you might be waiting it out. I mean, there's a candle, right? If you're in a hurricane, you might be holed up in your house. This could be a message for some people down in hurricane areas right now, using candles because it's all you have. But I think the point would be, continue to shine your light. Let it be your guide to get you out of this center of the hurricane. But either way, I'm getting the idea here that October is the center of a hurricane. In the past, there was the Ace of Pentacles, a positive energy, an affluent energy. In the more recent past, there was the Magician. So you've been trying to make something happen. That's why I believe that being the Hermit doesn't... Well, no, let me take that back. I have to keep my ego out of this. In the past, it's very possible that taking steps and making action and being at the front line and trying to push forward an agenda might have been your strategy, or might have been the right strategy, or might have been just a required situation. Maybe you couldn't have worked around it if you tried, right? So let's see where this is going. It's going to the Son of Swords, which is the same as the Knight of Swords, which is a fast-acting knight, one who's in motion, one who has a job to do, one who has something to accomplish, and more importantly, something to prove. I feel like the outcome, because that card isn't an outcome placement, the outcome of this Eye of the Hurricane Hermit is almost like, okay, in a situation where there's the Eye of the Hurricane and everything's swirling around and nothing is really sure, but there's a lot at stake, because that's what this is. You, whoever is listening to me, are the Hermit. Now, in the past, you've clearly been the Magician, trying to take some actions. Even further back than that, you were actually pretty affluent. Things were pretty stable. But they've bust open now, leading to this Knight of Swords, this fast-moving knight. So something's coming in, and it's going to come in towards you, at you, for you. And I don't want to say to resolve the situation, but it's going to come in, whatever the case. I don't know if it's coming to resolve or not. It's coming with a sword, and the sword is pointed in the direction it's going. So I can't help but think that this also could mean that this knight is coming after you. I mean, it could be coming to the rescue. Maybe it's coming to help you. But it portends a period of temperance, of balance, balancing out what is not working correctly. So something is malfunctioning, something is not working right, and it needs to be corrected, and corrective action is coming. This seems really vague, I know, but it's strange, so I have to, just as a human being, I'm going to apply something to this. We're going to plug it in. We'll do it together as an exercise and see if it makes sense. I just thought about how, Lifespan that I work for is being rebranded into Brown University Health. This is going to happen no matter what anybody wants or thinks or whatever. And so currently, we're in the eye of the hurricane, and there, all the pinnacles are there. There's great success is expected. The rest of us are just kind of in hermit mode, waiting for the details and the choices and decisions that must be made to be made known to us. In the past, we were healthy. We were well off as an organization. That's why we're being rebranded, right? There were times for discussions and for making changes and making decisions. And now somebody's coming in and saying, okay, we've done all the talking, we've done all the planning, we've done all the hashing out. Now it's time for action. And that action is leading to a state of temperance, balance. Whatever this reading is telling you for October, it surrounds the need for, and I'm going to say it again like this, corrective action. Doesn't mean that anything was wrong. In the case that I just demonstrated, Lifespan was healthy, right? They were healthy. There's nothing wrong with Lifespan that it's getting rebranded, but somebody had ideas of how it could be different. And so now we're going in that direction. So this could be a lot of things to a lot of people. This could be the ending of a relationship because somebody is realizing this isn't, maybe they built something that they didn't want anymore. Or this could be, changing a line of business or a career field. But there's definitely, somebody's been thinking about something and now changes are happening. Keep in mind that we manifest these changes with our thought process. Our thoughts create and generate an energy. It comes out from our crown chakra. We're sharing it with everybody in the world all the time. We're broadcasting our thoughts. And people may not know your exact specific thoughts at any given time. It depends on their abilities, but we're still broadcasting our wishes and wants. And the universe is listening. So Son of Wands would be the Knight of Wands. So once again, we have a knight coming out of the deck, a knight on the table. He's in our innermost thoughts and feelings about this. There's definitely like a trepidation. Unlike the card before it, the Knight of Swords, who's in action, and he's flying and he's coming down there and he's got his sword pointed. This is a knight of action. This one is not doing that. This one is saying, okay, my role will come after the action is taken. This night, you, in your innermost thoughts and feelings, is hermiting, right? It's doing that. It's like, okay, I'm aware that things are happening. I'm going to wait and see. I'm going to wait and see. We'll just call it that. Interesting. This Ace of Swords came up reversed in things that are in your, outside of you, but in your external environment that could hopefully assist. I mean, I do see the imagery of that universal connection, you know, the infinity symbol around the sword. It's almost like it's binding the action. I feel like whatever energy exists in the universe in October has the intention of binding this contract, whatever it is. Contract, lack of contract, uncontract. Like basically it's closure. There's going to be closure to one aspect of a thing. It's funny how these two things look similar, doesn't it? Look similar? I mean, it would suggest to me that the things we think and want and feel are manifesting physically. We're watching it happen. We're going to watch it happen. There's definitely an energy of the institution's got it, we're going to watch it happen. Or the person's got it, we're going to watch it happen. Or, you know, somebody else is doing the action. Somebody or something bigger than you or me. So it could be the courts or the school or the whatever, the companies that we work for, stuff like that. If you boil this down to like personal relationship level though, you've got to also identify that there's one party who seems to be more in control than another party, and whether if they're supposed to be working together, it's heavier on one side than the other. But Temperance is coming, and we're going to look a little more into that card. Not right now, but we are. So the Star and the Moon, both in reverse in our hopes and fears. We literally are at a loss. It's almost like saying, I have a lot of hope that, you know, this merger with Brown University Health and Lifespan is going to be great. But no matter what, I don't have a choice. See the difference? Four of Pentacles upright. A lovely card of balance, of symmetry, of a lot. There's a lot here that for me feels really ordained. I don't know why I got that word just now. Ordained, meant to be. Let it be. We have no choice. There are things that are going to happen in our environments, and we may find those things fair, unfair. We may feel, hey, I worked so hard and now this just came out from under me, or I've been working hard for 8 years. Why now is there like a sudden amazing breakthrough in my career? Or, you know, maybe you've been dating and, you know, it's been slim pickings, and all of a sudden there's going to be like 5 great potential people, and you're like, I can't choose. This is too much. So whatever it is, good, bad, or otherwise, and I'm getting a really, really neutral energy about this. The groundwork has already been laid. I feel as though October is bringing in a time where the universal energy is basically saying, it's funny because I always want to swear. I always want to say, you mofos have had plenty of time to do what you were going to do, and now it's Judgment Day, and I'm going to lay it out for you. Like, the energy has arrived. So this could be connected to some planetary activity, like a Saturn, Jupiter, like one of the larger planets kind of energy. I wouldn't know with certainty, but that's what I'm thinking. Essentially like something that was preordained to occur, but our decisions up until this point have put us on one side or another side of an issue. And it's almost like there are definitely sides here. Let's see what this Temperance what can we learn more about this Temperance? Queen of Cups in reverse. Judgment. The High Priestess in reverse. The Nine of Pentacles. Very similar to the Ten of Pentacles that we started off with. Got a lot of reversed female or feminine energy here. That, you know, not... It almost feels like there are those people out there who are sensitive or spiritual who maybe accept that balance has to be made or achieved. Balance has to be achieved. The universe is striving towards correcting things that are not in balance, right? And it's going to do that through placing judgment and saying, okay, judgment day, here's what's what. But I sense that some really sensitive human beings out there don't want to see people that they care about be on the wrong side of that judgment. And all I can tell you with regards to that is you didn't live those decisions for them. They did, and they must now live with it. But you, my dear, whoever you are, you and your 3 little birds and your 3 cups of joy, you're going to be just fine. 3 little birds sat on my window. So I think you're going to be okay. This is going to be a time for people to receive or seek solace from their closest friends and family, and remember where they belong. Let's check out the Kipper real quick. I've talked for a long time, so... What additional information can we understand or be told about the cards that are already out? Lots and lots of major arcana on the table. Pathway. This is for your best outcome. It's a happy pathway, but also it looks like kind of like the beginning of a journey. Let me just check this book because I love this book. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. From this, it derives a sense of long races, a long road. It's interesting. Slow growth of a partnership or long-term career planning. Pathway is also a symbol of roads. The card means a long road ahead. So this card, like literally none of the Kipper really talk about a time frame, but this one card supposedly represents 2 years. Privileged Lady, number 12. Wealthy Man, number 13. Privileged Lady and a Wealthy Man and a Pathway. I mean, maybe this is basically saying, as I already indicated, some people have believed they had every right to whatever they were holding on to or how they were holding others down, but there's some kind of justice coming in here to set things correct, and it's going to lead to a privileged lady and a wealthy man type scenario and people being on their pathway. So it seems like some wrongs are being righted. Unexpected income, guys. I mean, everything that I'm saying, everything that I'm sensing is also showing up in the cards. And that'll be different amounts for different people. And number 18, the Child. So lots of blessings here showing up. And I really just have this strong feeling like I need to say that if you've been keeping your head down and just working, and you've had a good heart and you've tried to help others and you haven't tried to harm others along the way, you've been honest, you've been straightforward, you've just done your best. You maybe feel as though nobody noticed, but nothing is ever not noticed by the universe. All energy is felt, but universal laws can be very neutral. They're neutral, but there's a tipping point here. October is a tipping point, and I don't know what it's tipping point of. It's going to be different for all people. So I'm not going to dive any deeper into this because I can keep it nice and general in this regard, and you can plug it into how it suits you. But if this strikes a chord with you and you want to see how it might be affecting you personally, you can let me know. Thanks for tuning in though, guys. I really appreciate it. Namaste.